This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Stephen Snowdy. He is the Executive Director and CEO of Visioneering Technologies. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is VTI on the ASX. Stephen, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Absolutely. Happy to do it. Thank you.
It's great to have you. Look, we missed having you on. You did a panel with us back in August, and it's been 3 months. I mean, it's too much.
We got to take a break. That was a lot of work there, and we do have a company to run here and a pandemic to deal with. So took a little break, and I'm back.
Well, you don't want to talk to the media every week. I mean, come on now.
As much as I would love to, and as much as I enjoy it, yeah, we do have to go out and run a company here during what I think a lot of people are characterizing as one of the most difficult times in our lifetimes.
That is for sure. Well, let's learn more about that. So, can you start us off with a quick overview and history of Visioneering, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Visioneering is a commercial growth stage company. We're in the contact lens business. Our flagship product is something called NaturalVue Multifocal contact lenses. These are daily disposable lenses. That's not the fun part of them or the important part. The fun and important part are the optics that are in these contact lenses. They are prescribed to two very large patient populations with high medical needs. The first of those being composed of children who are nearsighted, meaning that they can see things up close, but they can't see things that are far away, such as a board, or they have trouble during sports. They have to be corrected. With correction, they can see distance just fine. This is an eye condition that affects 80 to 90% of Asian children in the large industrialized Asian centers. It's a progressive disease. It gets worse as the kid gets older. They need thicker and thicker glasses, thicker and thicker contacts. But that itself is not really the major problem with nearsighted in kids. The really big problem is the worse it gets, the higher at risk that person is throughout their entire lifetime for some pretty serious ocular diseases like retinal detachment, which can lead to blindness, glaucoma, cataracts, blood vessels developing in the eye that shouldn't be there. So keeping it from getting worse is as or more important than correcting the vision. And that's something that our contact lenses do, and they're prescribed for in several countries. The other patient population that uses the exact same contact lenses that are prescribed for the kids are adults over the age of 45. Unfortunately, when people get over the age of 45 to 50, we lose our ability to see things up close. And the medical term for that is presbyopia. You've seen these people in the restaurants. You may even be one. I don't know. You look a lot younger than that, but I don't know. But you see these people in a restaurant. They turn on the big light.
I'm nearsighted, so I'm part of that nearsighted patient population.
Well, unfortunately, when you get over the age of 45 to 50, not only will you be nearsighted and you can't see things far away, but you'll lose your ability to see things up close. And you will be one of those people that takes your iPhone, turn on the bright light, and shine it on a menu while you're in a restaurant. As soon as somebody does that, you know they're over the age of 45 to 50 and they can't see up close. So our contact lenses are also prescribed in that patient population between nearsighted children and presbyopic adults. That is somewhere just shy of about a $20 billion combined market opportunity around the world. China by itself is close to a $10 billion market opportunity for nearsighted children, and that's only counting the children that likely have the economic resources to be able to buy contact lenses. So two very large patient populations that we're selling into high growth areas, and quite a busy time for us.
So, Stephen, what would you say makes your company and the products that you have on the market unique and different compared to your peers out there?
The technology is really different. All of the major contact lens companies have, these lenses are called multifocal contact lenses because inside a single lens, there are different optical powers. So as a general class, they're called multifocal lenses. All of the large companies use essentially the same design for addressing these needs. Ours is completely different from what they're using. The reason the company actually got started, it was started by an optometrist who was not satisfied with the contact lens products for the over 45 patient population. Started with a blank sheet of paper and did it a completely different way. So technologically, quite differentiated from the other products, and we think clinically quite differentiated as well.
So, Stephen, as you just mentioned, there was a previous founder. You came in to join the company. So, what's your experience coming into Visioneering?
So I started my career in academic science. So I have a PhD in neuroscience, got an MBA finance while I was getting my PhD because, the PhD just, wasn't keeping me busy enough. So between a PhD and the MBA, really wanted to get into the business of medicine. And I went to work for a venture capital firm back in 2003. In 2006, I was part of a mentoring program where venture capitalists help technical founders and engineers and doctors take their technical stories and really gear them for an investor audience. And I came across the founder of this company, and by 2008, I was so enamored of the technical concept because, my PhD is in neuroscience, so I really get excited about how the eye interacts with the rest of the brain, which is how this lens actually works. And by 2008, I just said, you know what, my firm will put in a few million. We'll get another firm that was Charter Life Sciences out of Palo Alto to put in a few million. Let's get this thing started. And off we went from there. Did a lot of research and development, figure out what worked, what didn't work. And by 2016, we were over in Australia doing a pre-IPO round and IPO'd the company in 2017. And off we went.
So what's the company's current market penetration right now?
It's really small. It's really small. So at peak, prior to COVID-19, we had 25 sales reps. In the United States, there's call it a couple thousand sales reps in the contact lens space, or maybe around 1,000, and we have 25 of them. So we're obviously a very small company as far as contact lens companies goes. But this area of nearsightedness in children, or technically called pediatric myopia, is it's not a new space as far as medicine and science go, but commercially it's a very new space. And we're one of the front runners in that area. So in pediatric myopia, we probably have quite a bit of the worldwide market because we've been doing it for a little while. But that's off a pretty small base because most of the companies that are in eye care are just now starting to get into pediatric myopia due to the very large market opportunity.
Got it. So then from what you can tell us, Stephen, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts and tailwinds for the rest of this year going into 2021?
So COVID-19 has been quite a ride for us. So if we just take a little bit of a step back, the second quarter, our fiscal year coincides with the calendar year. So the second quarter was just brutal for everybody. For every industry, we were down 42% in the second quarter. We had to let go of half of our company. We let go of 3/4 of our sales force. And so we had really geared the company for a very long, troubled time and a slow recovery. And at the end of the second quarter, things started to look, started to improve. We started to see some bright spots in the market. Optometrists were coming back to work, whereas in the second quarter, early in the second quarter, all optometrists around the world were, not working at all. And by the end of the second quarter, that started to reverse a little bit. And we got into the third quarter, and what a quarter we just finished up. So cash receipts from customers, 2.6 million Aussie, 1.9 million US dollars. That was a record for us. It beat last year's by about 12%, 74% over the second quarter, which is just extraordinary. Even our number of accounts grew by 20% quarter over quarter in the third quarter of this year. So quite a bit of recovery in this quarter as we start to get towards the end of the year. There's a couple of reasons for that. To survive like that and actually thrive during COVID-19, one has to start with a great product. that is being sold into large addressable market. And that's certainly the case for our product. A couple other things there, there in the third quarter may have been some leftover residual demand from the second quarter when people really locked themselves in their houses. Third quarter started to get back out, go see their optometrists. But it has to start with a really good product and large markets. We also, over the past year or two, have seen a swelling of interest in this area of pediatric myopia. We signed our first strategic deal last year with a company called Menacon. Menacon is Japan's largest contact lens company. They'll be selling our products in Europe under their own name. They've actually started up an entire brand around pediatric myopia. We just partnered with a company called Oculus over in Singapore. They'll be our sales and marketing partner there. And just general awareness around the world of the importance of treating nearsightedness in children as a progressive disease where the goal is to slow it down versus the old way of thinking, which was, hey, you throw some glasses on a kid, you get them seeing clearly, and you're done. That's just not the case anymore. So we were out swimming in front of this wave of interest in myopia. That wave has finally started to catch up, and we're getting a really nice push from that. We also have some new products in the pipeline that we're really excited about, and hopefully this recovery continues. In this third quarter, it was the first quarter that we achieved cash flow positive, excluding the monies that we spent on inventory. And we did that in the middle of a pandemic. So we're really starting to see, we think, a lot of clinical pull for our products, and we think that'll continue into 2021.
Very good. Well, with that, Stephen, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know to follow along the Visioneering story?
VTIvision.com. All of our announcements, of course, lots of good reading on the asx.com.au website. And, between those two sites, it should be plenty of information to digest.
Very good. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for joining me today. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.